Y'all ready?
Yeah, we're ready.
Okay. I'm not a Christian, but I'm here to awaken this Christian majority to the reality of who they are, so that in that awareness, they
Israelites.
will come. Huh?
No, I just said Israelites, but God.
Oh, I'm no, God, good. Remind them of the God and good in them. And once they all awaken to that reality of the power in them, and the authority to act in this reality. I hear what you're saying, Waterworld, and I think your stance is my part of my issue and my charge at Christianity, that this doomsday hellfire that we all are Christians are waiting for, to be whisked away to New Earth. We're going to have to break from that and own and recognize the God in us, and then as a collective we will come together and judge the congregation of mighty leaders who have failed our humanity. And I speak to Psalm 82 because that is our call to act. That is my, oh God, this is my walk right now, is to bring Christianity into the awareness of their responsibility to hold leadership accountable. And that is the panel of mighty leaders, the congregation of mighty spoken of in Psalm 82. And once Christianity awakens to that, their job to judge leadership for their failure to act on behalf of the weak and the oppressed, and for their willingness to show partiality to the wicked. This isn't talk that's going on in heaven. This is what's happening here on earth. And when we wake up to the God in us, it's us who are going to hold leadership accountable, shake the foundation, strip them of their authority. We will reestablish ourselves and our roles in those key roles, and then we will take the helms from here. And we will lead New Earth. It's not going to be a destruction where everything is going to be annihilated. The belief in that is what has allowed atheism to run this genocide attack on us. This is the annihilation that they have prayed for, to prove that, okay, Jesus got to be returning now. They just try to genocide all of humanity. You know what I'm saying? So this is what they keep conjuring up, this end time that, guess what? It's not Jesus coming to fix it. It's us, Waterworld. It's people on this call who are standing in that power to oppose what's being done and then manifest that by speaking against the lie. So it's not that this is going to burn in some hellfire. We're going to stop that, what these people are doing to our folk. This is the hellfire we've conjured on ourselves, and we're going to stop it and bring them back to reality. And then we're going to judge leadership. It's the God in us. That's what that's us. God is here. That's not coming back to say, fix it. It's us waking up to God in us. We are going to stand before leadership, hold them accountable, strip them of their power, so that when they perish as mere mortals, the lesser of mortals. They've lost their authority to lead society in God. And it's us that are going to take those positions. Okay? So that's the message I'm here to bring the church. It's in the Bible. And this is the wake-up call. And this is the call to act. So I'm here to shake that belief that everything is about to come to an end as far as life and existence on earth is concerned. That we're going to go to some new world. It's right here. We're going to bring it, and we're going to be here to live it. Okay, once we manifest it. By doing what we're doing right now, which is talking and sparking the fires in each person in here to get to their particular positions in society and do the damn thing. Okay?
I would just say, go to Revelation 13, 16 to 18 when you have an opportunity. And we are so close to that. The mark of the beast. You can't buy or sell unless you take the mark. Amazon stores, some Amazon stores are even working towards that. They have you put your credit card in the machine, they put your wrist over the machine, and they scan your print of your skin, and you take your card out, and when you go to the Amazon store again, you just got to flash your wrist over the machine to be able to buy your food. If you look at that and look at the fact that the only thing they haven't done is put something under your skin, which is what they talk about in Revelation 13, 16 to 18, you can see how close we are to Mark of the Beast, to the tribulation times. So I appreciate your optimism. I really, really do. Even on my IG account, I say pragmatist and realist for myself. So, but I do appreciate your good optimistic words.
Can I ask you something?
Please.
Okay. So is it what confuses me a lot of with a lot of Christians, you all's denial that what this shot is laced with nanotechnology that is going to lead into the digital platform. The mark of the beast it's in them. That's what the shot is. And I find a lot of Christians are very hesitant to admit that this is it. Our people took it and they don't want to admit it because you've got brothers, sisters, uncles, loved ones that have done it, and you don't want to accept that reality. Sir, it's here. And I've said this before, the Bible has essentially been turned into the manifesto of the individuals who are running the show on our humanity. And it led this Christian majority right into that mark. That was the mark that's going to lead into the digital currency, sir. It's got nanotechnology. They're already doing this in Whole Foods with the thumbprints and everything, and that nanotechnology had to be in the body for this stuff to be activated. So it's done, And you say my optimism. Can I ask you this? Is my optimism so? Is it trivial to you that I'm optimistic that we're going to survive this because in your eyes, everyone is doomed to die in this apocalypse that you all are waiting for? Is that why I'm optimistic to you? Because I refuse to acknowledge that that's what's going to happen. Jesus coming and everyone's about to leave their earthly bodies to go to new earth or heaven above with God. Is that too optimistic for me to say that heaven's going to be right here on earth and we're going to live to see it? Sans Jesus' second return?
It's not. Great question. It's not in the Bible that we're going to have heaven on earth. So
you're looking forward to the apocalypse where everybody dies.
I think that I'm not God and I can't answer that. But according to what I think and believe, God will spare his church. This is my belief. I'm a pre-tribulation person, not a post-tribulation person. I believe that God will spare his believers, his church, from the worst of the Antichrist and the worst of the 7 years, which is the last 3.5 years. That's what I see. That's what Revelation talks about. I'm a pre-tribulation person who follows Revelation as much as I can because a little bit's open for interpretation, but he does talk about the beast coming out. And I think we're really close to that. I think we're really close to Revelation 13, 16 to 18. I'm very much of a pragmatist and a realist. I appreciate people who are optimists. I really do. And so it's not believe me, it's not a put down in any way. It's not negative. It's not a negative thing in any way. But Revelation, I believe we're living in Revelation. I believe we're very close to Revelation 13, 16 to 18. And I believe that we are as evil, if not more evil, than the days before Noah, when God wiped out everybody except for who he picked, the animals in Noah's family. And so I think we're there. This world is so evil. Satan runs this world. Satan can't be everywhere, so he has his demons. And I see demon-possessed people who defend the globe, who actively defend the globe, because I believe the globe is the devil's creation, because God did not create a globe, a spinning, watery, curvy, bendy ball. God did not create viruses. And everything on TV is either a lie and or deception. And so I look at how evil this world is, and I go, there's not enough good people. And I think people who are believers, who have the Holy Spirit in their heart, will be taken away, and then God's going to burn this place to the ground, and he's going to start over with a new heaven and new earth. And that's just my opinion. That's kind of where I'm at. And again, I don't criticize anybody for a different opinion.
Ain't nothing wrong with that. I think you got your belief and how you view it. And I think Tina, I think what you focused on is basically saying, like, if somebody believes certain things, it's like it puts them in a place of no action. But I mean, not necessarily, because it's just like, I don't know if that's how you feel, but because I can understand that thought, like, just believing, like, this prophecy is just gonna happen and that's it. but it still comes up with a command. We commanded to take certain actions as things go along. We commanded to make certain moves, and we commanded to be. It literally says in the Bible to be brave, to walk through evil, fear no evil, etc. All that means is we have to actually get up and do something. We can't just sit there and just pray and just call it a day and stuff like that. And trivial belief systems and stuff like that, it'll get you going all over the place, you know. When it comes down to it, I really like strictly looking at the Bible, you know, like Christianity is man-made. And I'm going to saying it off the basis of the word Christianity is not even in the Bible one time. So it just shows you that, you know, they taking something and then they taking something out of the Bible and then they extracting and making it more, just like science. Science is within the Bible and then take it and turn it into a man-made thing. I'm not saying that anybody that believes in Christianity is not connected to God, or if you connect to God in your own way. I just understand the basis of how some of the words get taken, like Pentecostal is said in the Bible like 3 or 4 times or something like that probably. Those are all just things that are mentioned throughout the Bible. Nobody said to make a Pentecostal church. Nobody said to make a Baptist church. John didn't tell nobody to make the church was in the wilderness. The church was everybody together in the wilderness, coming together, congregating, and then coming up with what they're going to do to make their situation better, to help their people get closer to God, and etc. It had nothing to do with a building in the first place. So,
if ultimately the end goal, even if we stand up and act, if like Mr., you know, like you said, Mr. Waterworld was speaking, if the end goal is that it's all going to be, you know, cast to a pit of hellfire either way, if the end goal is ultimately, this is the devil's territory, what's the point in standing up and acting to fix things here? This is hell on earth. You just said it. This is the devil's territory. Heaven is not here in this realm. Why should we make this right? If the end goal is we're going to be martyred anyway in the apocalypse, right? So what's the point? And that's why they would be like, what's the point of this call? Why should we even bother acting? The end goal, we do this work. We freaking do this work. We put our fish on the line for this. And end goal, we're all martyred. We're all wiped out. What was the point? So I think there's more to it, you guys, than what we're taking from the surface of just reading the Bible and taking all of this. This is how it's going to go out. This is the prophecy. This is the way it's going to go. This word of God that was written by corrupted, tyrannous men. This isn't the way, you guys. What's the point? Why are we on this call? If ultimately we're going to die, let me just go and enjoy my apple pie and go sit in my garden and just wait for it to happen. I was an example for people to see. This is how you live righteously and do the right thing, and you grow from your past mistakes, and then this is how you find peace. And then ultimately, guys, hey, the countdown's coming. It's about to wipe our asses out, you know, and prayerfully we'll be kissing God's feet on the back end of this in the new body and new earth.
We don't believe that. That's definitely not it.
Tell me what you believe. Do you think we're going to leave this body and our children and go meet each other in an afterlife, you know, in death of the masses, or do you think we're going to be here?
Truly, I don't fully know everything. Sometimes when the Bible says heaven, it's a whole bunch of different things. Sometimes when the Bible says heaven, it's not even talking about what people even think it's talking about. It's not necessarily talking about in the sky and our spirits is there and stuff like that. Sometimes when the Bible's talking about heaven, it's talking about rulership, and it's talking about this person is in heaven and they fell from their rulership.
Speak to that reality instead of speaking to this idea that we're about to leave here to go someplace better. I mean, speak to the reality. That's one thing I just spoke on yesterday with Jen, a couple of days ago, was saying. It's speaking to leadership and how to properly lead society in this reality right here on earth, and how to get our asses out of ruts when we find tyranny.
It's Christianity. It's just Christianity is that indoctrination of Christianity, the way that the churches set it up, not the genuine believers of Christianity, like the old school real Christianity. That mythology Christianity is always going to frustrate people because it doesn't say anything about what's actually going on. It just gives you a whole bunch of mythology and stuff like that, and people thinking that 7 heads mean a 7-headed dragon is really a 7-headed dragon. Like, it's just that's not what it is.
Well, let's clear it up. You know, this what we're talking, to clear it up, because I don't want to align with a bunch of people who think it's all about to come to an end, because this isn't where I'm trying to take this. You know what I'm saying? And if you really in your heart don't know what's going to happen, well, tell me what you want. Tell me what you hope for, because calling your kids in and saying, you know, like, hey, we're about to go to New Earth, about to leave this body, and because that's what's written in the scriptures, that shit is dark. That sounds doomsday to me. And I don't want to speak that reality just because it's written by tyrannous men in a book of wood that can be burned and remanufactured. The God that I know when I had my awakening had nothing to do with a Bible, had nothing to do with Hebrew, none of that shit. It told me, lest you die. Get your ass right before you die. Live hell on earth before you ruin this experience. That was what I got from it, you know?
All right, so here's my thing though. I get what you're coming from. Like we all come from different beliefs and backgrounds and stuff like that. I've been atheist. I believe in nothing. I've been agnostic. I've been everywhere when it comes down to spirituality. I've been in Egypt. I've been everywhere. And then when it comes down to why certain people believe in the Bible is because the prophecies really come true. If you really geographically check out each prophet, each prophecy, if you really see it and you really pay attention and you really go and get into archaeology and all that, a lot of these prophecies coming true day by day. And the mark of the beast is a big thing that's in the Bible, and that's one of the main things people's concerned with. Everybody want to take the mark of the beast and strip it from the Bible, but then what about the rest of the Bible? But it's like you literally see the mark of the beast forming in front of us, so clearly it's truth in the Bible. I'm not saying that like to refute anybody's belief or whatever they got going to make them have their cognition move their way, because everybody's doing great things. Your embodiment is doing some great things no matter what. You got God within you. But what I'm saying is some people really go hard and really look at every single thing, every single prophecy, and they're like, oh damn, that prophecy happened, this prophecy happened. They're like, okay, so what's next? So then they start to say, what's really going on? So the mark of the beast, let's say the mark of the beast is the RFD chip, and let's say the vaccine is just the warm up of it, then that's basically in the Bible.
What my take on it is the Bible prophecy or the plan? Because if it's written by tyrants, it ain't prophecy to me. It sounds like their plan. If Spanish flu happened 100 years ago, then the whole deal with the plagues coming through, the wars coming through, that's happened over and over, cyclical. This isn't the first, war we're in. So these things happen over and over in our course of our humanity when hurt people become narcissists and start conquering societies and conquering people. So it's not prophecy. Ultimately, if you allow tyranny to do what they want and wait on a savior, hey, this is the cycle, and it's what's written in the Bible, what keeps happening. This shit has happened over and over. Jesus hasn't made a second run. This has happened before, far worse, worse. Jen.
Yes.
Jen, girl, what are your thoughts on this? I want to go carry on, but I don't want to.
No. We spoke about this on my live, and I thought about it, and I have a Christian background. Actually, I was raised Catholic, and then I converted to Christianity. So I've read the Bible, and I think Waterworld was talking about Revelations, and my struggle with the Bible is that it could very well be created to make us passive instead of having us fight. So sometimes that's my biggest struggle with Christianity. Do I question authority? I've been to churches where Bible studies tells you in Bible study classes you're conditioned to say, hey, don't question authority, and I have a problem with that, because if it doesn't feel good organically in my gut, then what is it then? Like, was I made? Like, it doesn't feel good. And Waterworld, I don't know if you want to chime into this, but there's some struggles with the Bible when it comes to standing up for yourself. A lot of it is like, turn the other cheek and da-da-da, but like, we were built to be great. And I think that sometimes in religion, there's this thing that like makes us less than. And what if we do have like this thing in us that is great? And I just feel like sometimes when you read the Bible, it's just like we're just sheep, and we don't have the power.
Yes.
And we do have the power, and I think that's where I struggle with my faith.
Yeah.
Like, do I sit here and I allow this to happen and say, hey, well, this is how it's meant to be, and it is what it is. Let God deal with it, you know? And it's just like, then what are we here for, guys?
What's the point? And in my atheism, that was one of the things that I asked. I remember when I had my awakening the summer before, on August 22nd, 2012. And right before it, I remember driving home thinking, what's the fucking point? What are we here for? You know? What are we here for if we're so helpless? If this is hell, this is the devil's territory? Why would you put us here? You know, like, what is the point of this suffering? Why do I pray for children? God, please give me babies to bring them up where the devil roams? This can't be life. I remember that this can't be life. And I remember slamming my fist down. If God is real, God needs to let me know directly. I don't want to hear it from someone else. What's the point of this? I'm sorry, I don't mean to curse. I'm just trying to show y'all what led me into my atheism was my disillusionment with this, how we were told to accept this reality, that this is hell on earth. No, I see the beauty. I'm sick of twisted man, but it's so beautiful. I want children. I want to love. I want to marry. I want to have experiences and enjoy this. But I'm told that this is the devil's territory. Like, no, this isn't, it never sat with me. And that's what my opposition has been, what made me challenge the church. That the idea this is born in sin, this is such a negative reality to the Christian majority. And I'm told that by me not accepting this perception that they have, that I'm going to burn in hell for not accepting the reality that we're all going to, when Jesus comes, soon come, because this is proof that he's coming, we're all going to die. And I need to accept that reality too, because, it's okay to die, Tina. Everyone dies and you go to new earth. I mean, you go to new world, not even new earth. They're starting to say that now because that's what we've been speaking. But you go to heaven, is what we've been told, to be with God. And what was the point of this then? What was the point in even sending Jesus to die? If it's still a run amok with sin, and now we all still have to die in the apocalypse, what was the point?
But Tina, when you say you're an atheist, you're saying that are you saying you're an atheist that you don't believe in a God?
No. When I was in atheism, I went through a good almost what 5-year span where I was just adamant. I don't believe. I never felt God. I never had my experience with God, that personal feelings. I had my awakening, which let me know it's unique to each individual, that personal experience with God for you to know it's real. But I know God is real. I know there is something bigger than me, and I'm directly tied to it. The way I'm connected to everyone on this call right now, I found that I came back to the God in me, but my disillusionment with society and how they saw reality and how they were telling me to see reality, that led me into atheism, which led me into questioning, which helped me find God. You know what I'm saying? So I'm totally did my 180. I know God is real. I don't put a face to this entity, this consciousness, this energy, but I know that I'm tied to something bigger and good. I understand evil too. Evil is real too, but that we are to be good because bad hurts and we don't like pain. So understand we're to be good, God, and create. That's life. Devil destroys. It's death, destruction. We're here to create, co-create. We came to live. That's why death is but a moment. So life is long, not short. Life is long. So I understand that higher power and that connection and that purpose and that desire to continue the continuum, to have kids and continue this reality and to come back, But I'm just trying to explain. I also understand atheism and what's leading this, society right now. It is dark atheism. But I found God, Jen. I know God. I know higher power, and I know good, and that's what I represent.
Honestly, that's all that really matters, though. As long as you have a connection to God, and you got, a spirit on you that believes in God, you don't have to be in agreement with everybody else's belief, whatever else anybody believes. It's like 3,000 different religions, so it's like to sit there and to be exactly on the core with somebody else. It's kind of challenging to do that.
But I think Tina, one of the biggest points you make is what if the Bible was written to minimize our capacity to make a difference and yes, that I think that's it. Was it written to keep us down. Like that.
It was corrupted.
Why
It
y'all
was
feel like that?
corrupted with that intention.
It's like it's caused like for Christianity's. I have friends who've are true Christian soldiers, and I hear it in their language, and it's like, well, God is coming, so it is what it is. God is coming, and it's just like, okay, that's what we're gonna. I mean, I get it. Yeah, God is coming, and God is in charge of all things. But and you need to see people who really are vested in the fact that all of this shit is gonna collapse, and they don't even have to work. So there's like people really not working right now because their bet is that the world is gonna end shortly, and they're not working and they're not doing shit, and it's because they have this idea like, why should I keep going if this all this shit is gonna collapse?
I feel like that's just Christianity, honestly. Because in the Bible it says when things like this is happening, it literally tells you get water, get food, store food up, protect yourself. It tells you this stuff. It's just Christianity's doctrine is just smash people, honestly. Christianity made me atheist too, honestly.
Yeah.
Until I just was looking at just the Bible without Christianity. That's when it all changed me.
Yeah. And that has been my charge against it too. It's the damnation aspect. I'm listening to these people online who are saying, if you don't take Jesus is coming. Y'all need to get ready. If you don't take Jesus, if you don't accept Jesus, you're going to hell. And it's the willful casting to hell of anybody who doesn't accept that this reality, this earthly existence is about to come to end when Savior returns, and he's soon coming. And we need to speak up and tell everybody to get ready. And anybody that's not in line with Jesus, you're going to hell. And that's that's the attack.
Oh my gosh.
And no,
These churches
you
are terrible,
Isaiah
bro. Robinson
crazy on IG is going in, and all these Christians are going in. You're going to hell if you don't accept Jesus. Get ready. And that talk right there is what has to change. The attacking of anybody who's saying, no, I'm going to fight for this reality right here. And I'm not going to die. I'm not about to be a martyr for this cause. We're going to fight for this. We're going to live and see, what we fought for manifest. But they're saying, no, you're going to hell. Do you believe that? No, you need to be with us. Jesus is coming. It's about to end, and you need to be accepted because that's what's written.
That's garbage. That's garbage. That's not how you recruit people, honestly. Like that's not how you discuss belief systems and sensitive topics where you break and engage. That's garbage. When I see people doing that, it upsets me.
Yeah, stop damning people, and that divides us. We in this fight together, but you damn me to hell because I see God different than you, but I'm fighting with you for our humanity and for these kids, But y'all have to push to change that paradigm because what's the point in us trying to link up, if y'all are ready to damn us to hell for not thinking like y'all, It happens a lot.
And people shouldn't do that to you. And I would tell them the same thing. One thing that I've realized is that most of us live 60 to 90 years on this good world. 60 to 90 years. The psychopaths who brought us convid are trying to speed that up a little bit. But 60 to 90 years is most of us live on this good earth. And then we look at eternity. Eternity is till the end of time. And the fascinating thing that I've seen is we're concerned about 60 to 90 years here on this good earth, but we're not concerned about eternity so much. Eternity in 1 trillion years with 12 zeros behind the 1 will have just started. We're concerned about 60 to 90 years here on this good earth, but in 1 trillion years, eternity will have just started. Now, do you want to look into your heart? I tell people, just look into your heart. I'm never going to condemn anybody. Look into your heart and see if you're right with God. God gave us an owner's manual. Yes, it's been corrupted, especially in 325 AD. A bunch of people got together and they changed it. And, King James Version has been changed. King James was not a good person. I read the Bible, Hebrew in the Old Testament, and I read the Greek in the New because you don't have a Greek translation in the Old and you don't have a Hebrew translation in the New. So I read the Hebrew translation in the Old and the Greek translation in the New. But that 1 trillion years is just the start. And I've been told, and I think it's in the Bible somewhere, 4,000 degrees Fahrenheit in hell. And I've been told that heaven is so great that we have no idea how great it is. So I say, be prepared. We don't know when Jesus is coming back. Just be ready. And I see this world. I look at it a little differently, and I confess that I don't believe we live on a globe or a planet. We do not. I don't believe viruses exist. Nuclear weapons do not exist. Hiroshima and Nagasaki on August 6th and August 9th of 1945 was mustard gas, napalm, and a bunch of TNT. If you load TNT into boxes and explode it, it looks exactly like a supposed nuclear explosion. It looks the same thing. And so, there's no Cold War. There never was. The Treaty of Antarctica kind of proves that there was no Cold War. So everything that we've been told has been either a lie or deception. And it's just getting worse. They're getting us ready for climate lockdowns. There is no man-made climate change. They are geoengineering through chemtrails. They're putting metals in the air, and those metals get hot when the sun hits them, and that heat comes down to the ground, and it causes clouds not to produce rain. It produces rain in places like Kentucky and St. Louis, but in Dallas we haven't had any measurable rain in 57 days. And I see chemtrails every single day, and I know exactly what they're doing with them. So this world is controlled by Satan, and it says in Isaiah 40:22 that God sits on the top of the firmament and looks down at us as like grasshoppers, not grasshoppers, as like grasshoppers. And he can see all of us when he looks down from the firmament. So if he can see all of us, we don't live on a globe or a ball, because if we lived on a globe or a ball, he'd have to go on the other side. I take the Bible literally when I can. There are things I don't understand, but there's things I do understand. I understand Genesis 1 perfectly. And when you become somebody who believes we live on a stationary level plane of existence, or water world, and what the world likes to call us flat earthers, I reject that term, then you look at things entirely different, because they lied to us about the very ground we walk on. The very ground we walk on, they lied to us about. If they can lie to us about the very shape of the ground that we walk on, they can lie to us about anything.
And they can darn sure lie to us about this apocalyptic end of humanity in the Bible. I think that's the one thing I want to finish on this water world, is to say just that, because just as quick as you're coming in on flat earth and on germ theory and on the reality of war and what's been going on in the history and the lies of our history, I promise you all are also going to learn that the lies of the Bible are about to be revealed as well. And what we've been taught to believe is about to go down is also a farce. And you're going to come to seeing that as well. Everything is being revealed, and that includes on your faith, what we've been told.
All right. V, how exactly did you get your name outside?
And don't laugh, everybody, but I pole dance for a living. So I have pole dancing studios in one in New York, one in East Harlem, and one in Staten Island, and one in Woodbridge, New Jersey. I closed my business down because everybody told me it was the right thing to do, but I didn't believe the hype. So I closed my studio down. Like I told you guys before, I took a gig with Lyft, and I was outside. And then they said they were not going to open, and I started to open up my studios without the government consent. And then I met Freedom Rally, and they did a whole video on me because I was letting the world know that I was going to make mask optional in my facilities. I was not and will not be asking anybody for vaccination cards to enter my facilities. That was how I started. I mean, Ian Smith from Belmar really started in Jersey, where he never closed down. And I looked at him and I was like, he's on point, but I didn't have the courage at the time. But when I saw that they were saying I needed to make sure as a business owner that I was checking vaccine cards, that's when I was like, no, that's when I draw the line. And so I started getting active in the city. I started meeting people, and we were really outside, protesting when mandates were real, where you had to have a vaccine card and stuff. And so I met my friend Bruno. We were outside, and I was like, we need to do something. We need to call it something. So we started doing lives, and we came up with the name We Outside. I saw this girl And she went viral, and I don't know, she was just like, we outside. And I was like, so I started screaming that in the rallies and stuff. And then that's how it started. And then I started doing lives, basically letting normal, regular people speak their mind. I think a lot of people have a lot of suppressed anger, opinions, and they believe, that they don't have a voice. So that's how We Outside started. And we started just interviewing many people. Tina's one of them. We met so many people during this journey, and that's how We Outside started. It started with us just rallying and protesting when you had to show a vaccination card to get into facilities and restaurants in the city, when businesses were being told that they had to have a capacity amount. New York City really went through it. So it just so happened that I opened my 2 studios in 2019, towards the end of 2019. So I had to step up, and I had to, take a risk and let the world know, like, I wasn't going to follow these protocols. And that's how it started.
Okay.
Amen.
All right. We outside.
That's what's up. That's what's up.
So to the panel, I guess we can start with V. Do you guys have any advice for people that are afraid, like people that are like scared, aka soft?
Like scared to speak up?
Yeah, scared to speak up, scared to fight for their own rights.
When I first started the activism stuff and started like speaking out, at first I was like trying to get a lot of people on the train, and like I would sit there and really contend with people on how their views was wrong. But now I'm 2 years into this, and I'm just like, if they not speaking now, they not gonna speak. And you could lead a horse to water, but you can't make them drink, right? So I've kind of lost faith in those people that are still in their coma. But now I come to an understanding that it's easier to be in the coma, okay? I think a lot of people are awake, but it's just easier to follow the rules. It's just easier to pull out a vaccine card. It's just easier to get your shot and shut up and go to work. A lot of people want to say stuff, but we've created a culture where you're doxxed. We created a culture you lose your job if you speak up. We've created a culture now with the whole pandemic that if you're not vaccinated, you can't come to your family wedding. If you're not vaccinated, you can't go to a family dinner. So we've created fear, and that's why people are not speaking. I just think that you have to be built a certain way. So as far as what do people have to do, honestly, at this point, I just feel like with everything we've been through, if these people are not saying what they need to say, like I really don't have any advice, because I'm at a point where I'm not worried about people who are not speaking out. I'm really not. If people wanted to speak out, they would have did it already. But I honestly believe you have to have some level of courage, and I don't really have advice. I mean, they should follow the people that are doing it, if they really want to do it. But I be honest with you guys, if they still sleeping, or they still scared, I don't know. I don't know what to say.
Yeah, I feel you on that, definitely. Tina, would you like to elaborate?
I was going to see if Waterworld wanted to first. But I did want to elaborate, but if he wanted to, I'd go after you.
Tina, you can go first, and I'll go after you.
Okay.
Okay. Jen, I agree with what you said. I think at this point in the game, it's basically about those of us who have awakened to the reality and have gone through the process of overcoming our fear to even open our mouths to speak. I think at this point we just have to get into our positions. I know I'm here to speak. I know I'm here to charge the congregation of mighty leaders who have failed our society. So I'm here to challenge them and to take seats. I just haven't found my way to my post yet. I'm making my way, but we've grown into our power. It's now our turn for them to pass the torch to us. We just have to find our roles in society where we are supposed to be. And that's what all of this is doing. We're communicating with people. These are regular, everyday people who, when we make our way to our positions, we're going to remember each other and put each other where we need to be. But everyone else, we're going to be the lights for the next generation to see, this is how you stand against this level of opposition. The shit that we stood against these last 2 years that broke people and with the military. You understand? This is shit that broke military men and women who bear arms that folded to this shit. So we went through the test, and now we just have to get in position. And we'll be the lighthouse for the next generation to know this is how you stand in your power. And we'll pull society along, but it's us. So we'll just be the light for the next generation to see. This is how you speak. This is how you grow through that discomfort, and how you, get comfortable in your voice and in your power. So yeah, it's us. I don't think anyone else, they'll be awakened, but they're not going to be the ones to act. It's us. So we just have to find our positions now, whatever those roles are going to be.
But I mean, back to I really want to answer the question too, though, in a way. Like, if somebody really wants to get involved, I think they need to be around like-minded people. I think being around people who saw that there was something wrong, I think even added more to my fire. Like, had I stayed home and just been scared and not got out there and meet people who were like, you know what, something about this story doesn't make sense. I think if somebody really wants to be involved, they have to be around the people that are involved, and also not be so isolated. I think people need to definitely be around a social environment if they want to get involved.
You're going to get compelled when this call answers you to fight, when that warrior clicks in you, awakens, you're compelled to seek out like mind. So that's what we did. That's how I found you. That's how I found, all of you guys, DJ Squeaky, all of y'all. And then we get to speak, and now we get to motivate each other we light the fire for each other to find our role, our places in society.
I always tell people to find their tribe, whether it's online or whether it's in, out there in the world. Find your tribe.
Yes.
Speak truth. I didn't become I'm not going to say flat earther, but I didn't become a stationary level plane of existence person, or a person that believes in terrain theory, Antoine Béchamp's terrain theory, that viruses don't exist. I didn't become a believer that nuclear weapons are all a hoax. I didn't become a believer because I wanted to be liked, because I've even been called mentally ill. I've been called a flat tard, and I've been called a lot of things. So I didn't become those things because I enjoyed being talked derogatory about. I became those things because that's the truth. That's where the truth took me. And the thing about this water world, or this stationary level plane of existence, not a globe, it brought me back to the Bible, and it brought me back to Genesis 1. Before, when I was a glober, I hate to use the word glober, but when I believed we live on a planet or a globe, Genesis 1 did nothing to me. And then when I realized that I've been lied to my whole life about the shape of the earth that I walk on, then Genesis 1 popped out at me. It's just like, wow. And then and so it's really been something. So I've worked real hard on knowledge and truth when it comes to the shape of the earth and viruses and stuff like that. And I've looked at the Bible, and I've had people that I've associated myself with, and that are basically saying, we're going to try to help people see truth through the Bible. We're going to try to help people see the truth through Jesus Christ's blood. And we're going to try to help people to see that this world's going to burn. And because, Satan and his demons control it. And, what they're putting into kids right now, this convid stuff for 6-month-old to 4-year-old, that's Satan's juice. Mm-hmm. If you take that, if you're a parent and you put this stuff in your kid, or a virus that doesn't exist, you're putting Satan's juice in them. And I firmly believe all vaccines now are Satan's juice, because none of them protect
Every
against
last one.
every last one of them, so you don't touch any of them. And then I found out that if you live, to your 80 years old, and you start taking the flu vaccine at 6 months old, take it 1 year, like the CDC tells you to your 80, you would have taken 150 injections by the time that you're 80 for viruses that do not exist. That is Satan's world.
Yep.
And we don't look at all these kids that die of SIDS. We look at these kids on TV who have, who are bald, who have leukemia or cancer, who are 5, 6, 7 years old. We never ask the question, how many vaccines have these parents put into these kids?
Mm-hmm.
And we have 1 in 15,000 kids in 1978 to get autism. Now it's 1 in 54. We've taken it up almost 300 times, not percent, and we've gone from 24 vaccines back then to 72 now by the time you're 18. And we have the MMR, which is measles, mumps, and rubella, and we throw the varicella in there once in a while, which is a chicken pox, which doesn't exist. We do that at 15 and 18 months, and then we do it again between 4 and 6 years, and we wonder why these kids get autism. And we can't blame the pharmaceutical business, we can't blame the vaccine business, because they do so much business. And so it's not about health. I mean, the big the FDA gets 45% of its budget, the FDA, from pharmaceutical companies, 45%. And they're there to protect us against pharmaceutical companies. And they get 45% of their budget from pharmaceutical companies. And the World Hoax Organization gets 50% of its budget from private. And 9% of that is from Bill Gates, $400 million a year. And then the CDC owns 56 patents for vaccines and distributes them out through some children's defense, vaccine thing. And they make money off of that hands over fist in the billions. And so we're not in the business of health. We're in the business of keeping people sick, so they need help from the medical cult. It's not Jen knows Dr. Assad, and Dr. Assad, got out of, allopathic, thing because he saw what was happening. Yep. And so I really appreciate him for that. And so we have to divorce ourselves from this system, seek our tribe, speak truth, try to help our family, relatives, people that are outside our home as much as we can. And we need to tell them, what the truth is. And then I kind of let God take it from there. That's me. I don't condemn anybody else for doing anything else. I'm not into condemning people. I'm into talking to people, but I'm not into condemning them. So thanks for listening.
Thank you.
I wanted to touch on that.
That's weeks.
We all have superpowers.
Sure.
And we just all have to own in on our superpowers. So God gave us these powers. You understand? It didn't come from anyone else. So if you use it for anything other than what God is giving it to you for, then you know which side you're on. We know.
That's
so
right.
I know me and Dr. Assad, we work in the sun and we charge. We charge our energy. We charge and we say positive mantras, and we spread that into the earth, into the atmosphere. So I'm happy to hear that others are, even if you're afraid, and it's why you're not speaking up, but I'm happy to see that others are starting to speak up about how they use their power.
Yeah.
Because I was afraid for a very long time. Not that I was so afraid, it's just I was in the unknown. When you're in the unknown, you're led by the devil to do anything and everything. So I'm just like trying to find my way, and God still held my hand along the way. And so because I have other experiences where, I may have had more than one deaths, you understand? So I am more in the spiritual realm than the physical realm. So I can experience those things, some kind of higher powers, more than normal people. So I have worked hand in hand with doctors on this situation of mine. So now I decided to go the holistic route, which was our first medicinal practice, which you mentioned earlier, water, how it was bought. It was bought out. The first doctor was Sarah McKinney, she was a doctor in Brooklyn. She was the first homeopathic doctor in Brooklyn back in those times. I kind of try not to dive into what man says and what man dictates and what this was. We all have different parts of the story, and it's like, oh, mine's is better, or this is more true, this was not untrue. Like, we're confusing each other instead of just pulling together on one accord on one thing. And we're just trying to pull in from each and every aspect because we're hearing it from this person, this religion, that race, this color, and it's confusing. We need to just say, you know what? Look, we all got this superpower. We got this. We come to the table. We could work on it. Oh, can you do this? Can you edit? Me and Design and Roy do it all the time. Every week for this show. Okay? Roy can edit. He does a visual. Design does the audio. He records. I record. I, download recordings and help edit the recording. So it's like we all work together with this. And it's the same way we have to apply to this life. We're all supposed to pitch in our power and bring it to the table accordingly.
Yep.
And this is why we're doing this now, so we can have an open floor about it. We want to know who is contributing what and how, and we want you guys to say it because you have to hear yourself say these things sometimes.
Yeah.
It's best to hear yourself say it first. Then you don't want anybody else to say your story but you. That's why I said what my story is tonight, because I don't talk about it. I only feel comfortable talking to people that I know are contributing to the greater good for what God is doing right now, because we're seeing through it all. We're seeing it through it, and we're all connecting like telepathy. That's why I was saying, like, we all could communicate telepathically. We should be able to, if we're all the same race, the same human race.
Yep.
Right? So now that
we are.
Right?
That's why we're doing this. That's how we're all coming together like this.
Exactly. So now
with the same fight, with the same intention. So it's happening. This is the magic.
Exactly. So that's why I applaud you. And when I spoke to Jen, she was telling me about you, Miss Tina. And I came into the interview last minute, so I really didn't. I wasn't able to really fully hear everything you said, but I caught on some things you said, and I was like, wow, this is what me and Design talks about in royalty. We talk about this every damn day. Everything that you speak on, everything that Jen speaks, everything that Water speaks on, like, we're all just trying to pick what is this? Something is not right. We're missing something. Right, Design? You said you felt like something is missing. We're missing a part of the story.
Yes.
What is it?
Well, it's that knowledge of self. And how do we bring this unity that we cannot seem to grab a hold of? Especially amongst Black people, why we just can't get it together to pull our folk out of this, as a collective. And I think I find what the missing piece is, and it's where we all divide ourselves on knowledge of self. And now my aim is to bring the Christian majority into this self-realization of who they are, where it's externalized. I'm trying to show them the God in them, the power in them, the authority in them, and the purpose. It's not just Jesus who's divine. It's all of us. We're all divine, and this is what's going to bring back that cohesiveness. We got to get them off of this pedestal that says they are supreme in their understanding of salvation and everyone else is wrong. We got to bring them off of that and then bring them into this one accord on who we are. There's truth in the Bible. They filled it with lies, and then they preach and teach the lies. I'm here to bring the truth, the empowering truths out that are universal to us all, and tell us all who we are. It's universal, God in all of us. So that's the missing piece. I'm here to bring these dialogues to the church. I speak to pastors and ministers all the time. So I'm here to have that dialogue with your devout Christian Bible thumper to help them realize where they're dividing us, so that we can bring the cohesivity that's going to help us lift collectively out of this sunken place.
Right.
So I'm here to bring that.
I want to piggyback on what you said. Now, you said that these Christians put themselves on a pedestal and they Bible thump. Now, don't forget, there's two sides to every religion, everything in this world. It's good and evil.
Yes.
So I believe in my wholeheartedly heart that the Christians who are doing these divisive things are the true Luciferians, Don't get me wrong. I have my experiences and I've been church hurt, but the truth is the truth. If you don't like it, don't do it. If you don't like being called a Luciferian, don't be one. But this is what it is. So they hide in the churches. They hide in the back of the churches. Mainly, mostly Christian churches. They do this in. Okay? Every type of religion, Baptist or whatever you want to call yourself. But they're in the back of the church. You hear me? In the
Watching,
back of the
monitoring.
church. And they are the main ones dividing, spreading confusion, and doing all of the stuff that you mentioned. So yes, it is our duty to awaken people out of that. Oh, it's religion, it's religious beliefs and blah blah blah. But then here you go on the other end, having these major wicked powers deny your religious authority. Because why? Well, like it's like we're double talking now. How come you can't use your religious form? Why is that? So now you got to put your finger on it and you got to nip it in the butt, because now we have to realize we are sovereign beings. This is why you cannot use your religious forms, because you don't know any better that you're a sovereign being. That's right. And they're trying to tell you. They tell you all the time. It's just that we're so asleep at times. Sometimes we snore harder than others. We're asleep most of the time. So we need somebody to just shake us up. Maybe it's God. He's shaking us up. Like, listen, you don't need this religious form. This is for them. Right. Your religious form is inside of you. Like you said, Tina. It's inside of you.
That's right.
You have to know that. So now we have to do the studies. We have to unlearn and relearn our codes, the natural laws. All of these things that already been placed that they hidden, like Mr. Water said. Okay? These things have been hidden. We have been hidden. And it's not that we chose to hide. We didn't choose to hide. It's things that's always getting whispered in our ear. Hey, do this, do that, do that.
Always.
Do this, and I'll give you this, and I'll give you that. Yeah, that's the devil.
Yeah.
I'm sorry for my rant, but I felt compelled to say that because I'm tired. I am so tired, and I'm watching, people we're supposed to look up to and celebrities and blah, blah, blah. And these people who are in my community, I don't even hear them speaking. The only people I see speaking is you. You all are speaking. And not them. That's what's boggling me the most, because I'm expecting it to be them. We put money in your pockets. We pay you. We paid you to be famous. We paid you to be rich. Okay? We paid you to be empowered to do something for us, to fight for us. And no, now you have we the people tired of your garbage and your trash and your silence and your compliance. Yep. Because we thought you had our back for the last 20 years. No, buy my CD, come to my show, come to my concert. Yeah, okay. So why you not in my neighborhood fighting for me? Why is my friend fighting for me and putting y'all in check, giving y'all orders, giving y'all, you know what I'm saying?
If that money is power, if that fame is power, why y'all silent? What has y'all silent right now? Y'all sitting on top of the world. So like I said, they are the biggest slaves amongst us, and they've proven that. And we've given them so much, praise and worship. And look at them; they are the scaredest in the bunch. They are the most afraid to speak, and they have the money. They have the platform.
They do.
So they've proven, whose they are. They've all proven. Beyonce, I'm mad. She done dropped the whole damn album.
Tina, you never.
She ain't talk shit about genocide, but you talk about empowering your people. But you won't talk about.
Tina, wait, because I am so shocked to see somebody coming at my sister Beyonce. First of all, I would just want to say,
here we go.
I am shocked to see somebody come at my sister.
Jen's so proud of me.
I'm proud of Tina, because I know that was.
I have never seen anyone come so hard at my sister, and it's silent. No. It is so silent. It's quiet. Had it been anybody else,
they won't say nothing. I was waiting for the Beehive to come at me when I put her ass on blast. They ain't said shit. They won't.
I am shocked. They are sitting in their bed. They are quiet. They are twiddling their thumbs. They are sleeping, honey. I am shocked. I'm just wait a minute. I pray for my sister daily. I pray for her. I love her. I work for her. I do so much stuff. Yeah, she copies, she steals, she does this. That's what an artist does. Okay, so what? Get over it. I was honored. I worshipped her at one point. So
I'm not mad at you. I still have faith. I will still hold out. If she turn around, I will apologize on the girl.
No, Tina, you will not. You will not succumb to Beyonce. I'm sorry, sweet.
Hey,
both of y'all, but
she
y'all
gets
have
the
to
middle finger
understand.
right now because I'm like, just say genocide, B, and we can put this whole thing to an end, but you won't.
No,
Just say genocide. That's all I need you to do.
I'm sorry to tell
But she
y'all,
won't do
but
that.
that's not Beyonce anymore. So y'all need to.
It's not. I don't think it's her either.
It's not
I
her.
don't think it's her.
We know how that goes. We know how that goes.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
you could say Beyonce's rest in peace. I'm sorry, guys.
Yeah. I hate to say that, but I don't think it's her either, Jen. Them clones, them body doubles. I don't know.
We're gonna have to save that for another segment about all of that. We can always come back and talk about it. We can always come back and talk about it because it needs to be spoken about. And this is really for my younger viewers here in this Discord because they are teaching us. Like they're teaching me. My administrator, he's a young man. He's not even 18 yet. He's showing me how to work this. You know, so this is for them, so that this is like a historical I want to say a historical audio for them to look back on, so that they understand what the heck is going on around them. What they're doing right now is they're just creating ways to keep busy, but they're creating ways for them to get out.
Yes.
You understand? And I love that about them because now they're gonna have their own money, whatever money it'll be, whatever fiat or whatever, they got it. They're creating it themselves. So I'm proud of them, and I hope that you guys take this into consideration when you do listen to this and listen back, and you understand that these are your freedom fighters. These are the people who are fighting for your rights, so you can still be a human being, a female, a male, a serious person that knows God and understands what you are here to do. So please appreciate and love us as your elders. We love you. We commend you. We thank you. We thank you all tuning in. Thank you for coming, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you. Love you guys.
Yes, thanks for having me.
Appreciate y'all.
Thank you so much. So we're gonna have a part 2, 3, 4, 5 to this segment.
It's gonna be a selective series right here.
Yeah.
Well, that's cool.
This special series, you, Jen, Waterworld, Tina, if you don't mind, we would like to expand this series on with you all.
Okay.
I just want to thank all of you for, just everything you guys do and just fighting the good fight. I really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
You too.
No problem.
All right, guys.
We'll be
Take
back this Saturday with How Can We Make It Better?
Looking forward to it. Anytime, y'all. Thank you. Thanks for the invite.
Thanks. All right, bye-bye.
Thank you.
Okay.
Signing out.
All right.
Take care.
Good night, y'all.
All praises to the Most High. Design. Broke the heart of the devil in a red dress. My confidence high as the heavens when the king stepped. Even though I was walking around like I ain't blessed. They hated me cause I told the truth, you gon' get the message. I don't need the industry, already got my blessings. Try to knock me down, but I still got my effort. We all famous cause God knows us. If he forgot you, then once you repent, watch how you blow up. I was shoulder to shoulder, in the dirt with some cobras. I'm lifted up through the speakers. I'ma show you. My soul is rebellious to the earth. Holy Spirit is born, and that's how we gon' break the curse. These youngins that sell they soul for a purse. Robbery. Your homies that sell your soul for a shirt. The reality is twisted, got you doing all these perks. And you started off with zero, now you gotta overwork. I've been learning so much, I'm about to battle the preacher. I've been kicking so much game and you can't call it FIFA. I was feeling so much envy, went to sleep with heaters. Went through so much on my own, tell me where was the teachers?
Outside of this life, there's so much more. Tired of the struggle and the pain. Everything is changing. This world is not my peace, tranquility. Preparing for the place he has for me. It's gonna get better, wait and see. While the world is changing, this world is not my home.
Make them celebrate deception like Saint Nick. Santa Claus signed the transatlantic slave trips. Let me mess up this tradition, that's a plot twist. His spirit is lost, don't confuse him with who God is. I'm not of the world, I don't love these pearls. Though they shine and they pretty, I seen them diamonds here. I see blood and see sweat, I know them diamonds hurt. Now take a look in the mirror and you can see the church. Now go congregate with the realest that's on earth. No more underestimating, you can't count me out. No calculator for this big amount. They tried to put pesticides on me just so I wouldn't sprout. Grandfather misled, I took a different route. Much respect to Leggy and the blessings finally hit me. And my nerves got numb, cause I was moving risky. This the real song cry, trying to meet a soul tie. No digging ditches, cause I will rise. Try to meet me with conflict, watch how I optimize. I remember the lies, my spirit gonna rise. Now that I meet the truth, I really cannot hide.